Here.
Very good.
So I was delayed.
It's all right.
So it looks like the British military wants to conscript us.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah. I
Crazy.
can't see any fucking young person saying, "Oh, I want to fight for the state of this bastard country." I can't see any bastard person saying, "Oh yes," unless they're fucking an adrenaline junkie. I can't
Hmm.
see anybody in this modern day age saying they want to fucking fight for this country, especially when they try to. Especially if you're as aware as us. I can't see anybody wanting to.
That's crazy.
They might not say they're doing it now, but they are getting the public prepped for a constitutional for a draft.
They sure are.
They want World War Three. Does it matter? Does it matter though? Because they're gonna send the vast majority of us into fucking war, and well, their fucking sons and daughters they get fucking lit, sit nice. It achieves multiple goals. They get to fucking increase prices on the populace. They get to eliminate half the populace through death. And then they get to play a little war game. They get to try out new weapons and make money off the defense industry. So yep. I suppose it's just what it is.
And it was what it was.
Well, Trump won New Hampshire primary, loadedly. It looks like Trump's going to be the nominee for the Republicans, but he's he loves Israel. He loves the state of Israel so much. Yeah,
Of course.
he's BFFs. So either way, we still lose.
Yeah.
Yep. So what else is there?
So, let's see. Oh yeah, I remember something Trump said about getting like LeBron James and all the big name basketball players.
Yeah, I
Quote
thought
transition. Yeah.
he was at the start. He was very against the whole transgender shit, but he hasn't talked much about that lately. Is he against it? Is he for it? Is he moderate about it? He hasn't talked about that since a long while. So
Well, I assume he's against it because
I
one
think
time
I think he turned down his tune because his advisors basically told him the way you're going at this, you're going to fucking distance liberal voters.
I
So
could see
whether
that.
he's actually going to ban it from schools or not, but something needs to be done. They're basically teaching kids to be young little activists in schools. And Faithy said, well, basically, I showed Faithy a video about it. She basically said, I wish I had something like that when I was in school.
Yeah.
Just being so affected her. The school system's fucked. Part of me wanted to, I was hoping, if I was one of those kids' parents, I'd want to give that fucking leftist bitch a piece of my mind. Like, seriously. They're fucking kids. Let them educate them at math, English. Why are you trying to shove that propaganda down their fucking throats? Basically, just getting these kids ready to be literally molested by pedophiles, basically, which is sad. Did you guys have you been looking into the whole thing? Oh yeah, did I tell you who owns Merrill Lynch? Did I tell you about the whole thing with Bank of America, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that it controls basically BlackRock. It practically owns BlackRock.
Oh yeah.
Merrill Lynch is the biggest shareholder in BlackRock, right? Or is a big shareholder in BlackRock, right? At one point controlled 40% of BlackRock's outstanding shares, right? Bank of America is controlled by a bunch of people, right? Warren Buffett's a big shareholder of Bank of America, so effectively Warren Buffett is one of their biggest shareholders. You also got to look into the fact that there's also a family. I can't remember. It also Bank of America, right, has ties back to a family that supposedly had connections with Mary Antoinette, supporting Mary Antoinette's son that escaped France before Napoleon, and that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he took the rest of the Antoinette's money basically the French monarchy's money and plowed it into American corporations. And that was before the Civil War. They hid them in blank check companies to make it so that money couldn't be seen. In fact, they made it dark money. And this is never going to be fully established, but I think it was the bequeath or something, bequeath. But I sent the video in the chat, in Discord chat.
Oh yeah, okay.
Family that basically there's not a lot of information on. Let's just say they're a very private family, and I think they're a very very powerful family. Nobody actually thought of it. What happened to all the wealth? Nobody thinks about it. What happened to all the Bonaparte wealth, right? Nobody talks about all the Bonaparte wealth and that, and all the money that Bonaparte made, right? Nobody talks about the Bonaparte wealth. What happened to it? Who inherited? Because the Bonaparte line still continues to this day. It's just handed off to sons and daughters. I think it was Perlman or something like that. That's the last name of it.
Okay.
But what else is there?
Oh yeah, there's a video I've seen on Instagram. The thieves in London. The video is the two women. They're stealing groceries from a shop. But if you look in the comments of that video, people say, in general, in a nutshell, they're saying, but what about the children? Well, okay, I understand the children, but if these women are stealing shit for themselves, that's a no-go. There's people that's working hard to.
The thing is, though, Jamie, unless it's under a certain amount of money, the government, the stores can't legally fucking do anything. I think it's £800 or something like that. They can't do anything about it. And that rules, and if it's under £800, under a certain amount of money, it's just not worth fucking reporting it. Let's be real here. It's not worth fucking reporting it. It's going to cost them more than it's worth to fucking report, right?
I guess so.
And they're not going to exactly get anything from it, right? They can claim, like, at the end of the day, they're better just claim it off insurance on the tax write-offs at the end of the year. At the end of it's just to them, it's just the cost of doing bloody business. They're gonna just write it off like, oh, it's about the same product that fucking spoils, like it wastes in that damaged product. They're just gonna waste it and do it like that.
Oh yeah.
If it gets too big in that, they will start clamping down on it. But it's once a week, right? I mean, it's something tiny, like a bottle of Coke and a fucking packet of minstrels, right? What can they fucking do? It's like £2, right? One sale. That's about.
It's not even worth it.
Thing is, so it's less. It's £10, right? By the time that they fucking buy it, and someone buys another thing of minstrels, they've already made their money back. That's just how sad it is. Like, it's that cheap. They're that cheap of products, right? They've got them buying them in bulk, right? By the time they sell one packet of them, right, they've already made their money back. It's just not worth it to them.
Just leave it.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, it's to them, it's simply just not worth the fucking hassle and time.
It's just a tax write-off.
The managers realize they've probably got an expense account for stuff that's damaged, right? And they just use the expense account, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's not worth the fucking time. It's literally just not worth the time reporting it. Yes, they're going to report it, but again, it's simply just not worth the time doing anything going with it legally, because it's going to cost the store more than it's actually worth. Sadly. And it's sad, really, because it's literally just going to lead to a fucking dystopian hellhole like China. When the supermarket's there. That's the future we're going at.
Or the Democrat-run US cities.
They're already starting to demand in certain stores for the staff to wear body cameras. Which is, to me, it's just fucked.
Or worst case scenario, you're going to have to ask a member of staff to unlock one of the cabinets where they keep the products locked.
They're doing that in certain neighborhoods in America.
Yeah, I knew Democrat-run cities would have this kind of stuff in place already.
They will. Yep. It's just not worth the hassle with like dealing it. There's a certain limit, like £900 or something like that. If it's under £900,
so what? Just write it off and
write it off with the tax write-off.
You'll make up the cost for it.
Yeah, you'll make off the cost of it. Like, no offense, sometimes the company's not going to ultimately admit it, but some of this stuff does lower their tax bill at the end of the year. They'll just claim it back as a write-off. Write it off, and basically write off as depreciation, simply just because it's unsold product, which the government in the state allows because it's perfectly legal. write off like excess products that just don't sell. They just claim their tax write off at the end of the year. It saves them money on their tax, on the company's tax. That's how the company pays little tax. So they've got inventory that just doesn't sell.
Yeah.
So what else is there?
More of the lesson: don't become Times Person of the Year. You know why?
Why?
Because if you look at the people who make the front cover, the points of the M, they kind of resemble something that, if you know, you know.
What you mean?
You know?
Symbol to Satan? Satan.
Yes.
Did you hear about the new policy? As soon as Elon came back from Twitter, right? They enacted a new policy, right? They enacted a policy that basically disincentivizes people to tell the truth because they're not going to get rewarded financially for it. So basically, incentivizing the old school policies of the Twitter 1.0, right? You don't get paid if you try and expose the truth, right? And the right thing, but basically could get you in jail, right? For exposing the truth, right? You're not going to get paid. So effectively, they disincentivize people from telling the truth and breaking news articles, right? So the whole process about like telling freedom of speech and basically showing the true picture of the world, right? That Elon said he was going to do when he hired Twitter is a fucking lie. Basically, he's also going to discriminate. Basically, that means that basically putting a law, but basically they can target any Trump supporter or anybody that literally tries to expose the fucking dirty and shady shit that they're doing in the 2024 election. Not surprising. Twitter's not a fucking free speech platform. Rumble's more of one than Twitter is. X is a fucking scam. It censors your fucking thingy. The community note and anybody. There's too many community Twitter 1.0 has gotten into the community notes thing where they're basically censoring anybody that gives an opinion that doesn't accurately say what the people think.
Even it does, it only has the best proof they got is like links to articles.
Manipulate people to think, and then literally people say, "Oh, well, you got community noted, you must be lying."
That's not always the
trying to get
case.
people committed to, "Oh, we need if community notes says it's fine, everything's fine." There's community notes supposedly the fact checkers, but nobody's talking about who's actual fact checkers, fact checking the fact checkers. The fact checkers are heavily liberalized, right? They're heavily liberalized because they don't have these fact checkers. They don't have a job. Liberals, they don't have a job, so they literally just basically the system is getting to the point where if enough fucking woke little liberals hate something, right, like hate Donald Trump, right, they can manipulate the system, say, "Oh, Donald Trump's bad, or let's say you and me are bad." They can infect it. The community notes needs to be affected. Because basically, if there's enough fucking liberals in there, they can manipulate the thing to basically play it in the way that they want it to go. So, do you think Stormer will win next year?
Yes, sad.
But why?
Apparently, he's good.
But why though? He wants us to rejoin the EU.
Well, that's not the reason why people believe Labour's going to win. What Conservatives have done for the last 10 years is people are had enough of it. They want a radical change, like what happens in Argentina. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. They just want a change that's drastic.
You're not going to get that with Stormer though.
But what other choice is there that is actually going to do as good of a job?
Nigel Farage, the guy that took us out of created Brexit, Nigel Farage.
Oh yeah, Farage.
He's supposedly running. I think he's planning. I think he's trying to take on Reform UK.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. However, him alone is going to be a stretch for now. But otherwise,
Malay did it
will
by himself, and he created a cabinet.
Absolutely.
Malay did it. Even though Javier Malay is too fond of America, and he loves the state of Israel.
There's always a cost to everything.
Personally, I want someone that fucking is willing to criticize these bastards.
Exactly.
I want
say it as it is.
Criticize them. Even Russia, to an extent, doesn't criticize these people. Even for the Bolshevik, the Jews basically killed Russia. They're the ones that fucking overthrew the monarchy. Nobody talks about the fact that the Bolsheviks were the Russian Jews, the Russian Bolsheviks, who were Jews, destroyed the Russian monarchy after WW1. And then the liberal, who were basically controlled by the British, right? And then basically, do you think we should have defended Russia in World War II? I don't think we should have entered World War II in the thingy. And now they want to get us into another pissing war between America and Russia. In my opinion, I think we should personally stay out of it. Let Russia and America take themselves out while we build our military up, and then we can take power again, become the number one superpower.
Yeah.
Personally, I think we should let America and fucking Russia and China beat the fucking living hell out of each other, and just polite to stay fucking neutral. America deserves what it's getting. If they want to get pummeled by the Russian state, then go ahead. And we'll literally just wait on the sidelines and then get ready to take fucking power when America collapses. Because boy, America will fucking collapse. America will collapse long before Russia. And if we follow America, basically, we're going to collapse our own country. So what else is there? BRICS is expanding. BRICS is becoming interesting.
Yeah.
Powerful. It seems like both countries will be under the power of liberals. This country cannot stand to be under a liberal government. We'll be fucked. We need conservatives. We don't need fucking Do they seriously want to be under a fucking liberal government? They do realize if we're under a liberal government, right, we'll be oppressed. We'll have no oil. We'll be dependent on the likes of Russia. Starmer wants Britain back under the EU, where we're back under Daddy Klaus.
The thing is, though, what is liberal?
What is liberal?
Yeah.
Socialism, communism. I'm going to be my brutally honestly. I think liberals, in my honest understanding, I think they're communists. I think they're socialists. A lot of these people from the Democrat Party, right? Especially, I think the Democrat Party, and basically inherited when the Soviet Union collapsed, right, or allegedly collapsed, right? A lot of those Russians, right, people from the Soviet Union, they came to America, right? A lot of them, they were remnants of socialism, communism. And the Democrats, right, they helped rebuild socialism and communism in the universities, right? We all thought communism was dead, but it was actually rebuilt slowly. It was almost eliminated, but it was rebought back inside the universities of the alma maters and educations of Yale, Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge, and all these liberal like universities, slowly hiding in the shadows until the time to strike, slowly manipulating and pouring out and creating more socialist drones, but supporting the communist message. Everything should be owned by the state. That's the thing. I don't get the ideology. Oh, everything should be on the state. The government should own everything, and we should be fucking dependent on them for daddy government for the rest of our lives. I don't get that. I personally don't want to be ruled by a state, by one authoritative regime. Liberals, in my understanding, they're too ideologically led. They focus on the premise that the government can be trusted when it can't. They believe that the government's got their best interests at heart, which it doesn't. It's blatantly obvious the government doesn't have their best interests at heart, yet they always vote it. Americans are having the biggest awakening in the past, I'd say, 100 years. You've got the Hispanics, you've got the blacks, you've got the whites, you've got the Puerto Ricans, you've got the Cubans, you've got the Chinese, you've got the Koreans, Korean Americans, Asians, Vietnamese, Chinese. You've got all these races uniting around one person. saying, we want capitalism, we want conservative values. We don't want to be led by a socialist dictator. We don't want to be led by a Mao Zedong type figure. And the liberals, they'll squeal and say, oh, I hate him, I hate him. Oh, he's bad, Trump bad, Russia bad, Orange Man bad. They'll say that all the things in the media. Don't believe it. Because I can guarantee you the people are smart enough to realise the economy was good under Trump. I could actually afford to pay my rent. I could afford to feed my family. And overall, the economy was a lot better under him. Basic foods and services were better. We were pouring oil. We were energy independent. We weren't relying on any foreign power. Do I still think that they're going to try and rig the election in America and Britain? Yes.
If they did it once, they can do it again.
They will. But even the amount of votes, they can still rig elections, right? But the amount of people that are supporting out Trump, right? I think it's going to become extremely hard for them to fucking rig it. Right? People know it being blatantly obvious. I don't think they can effectively rig it. I think they can rig it, but the public won't believe it. Won't be able to underbelieve it with how poorly he's fucking done. Apart from the libtards, the liberals. And boy, I'm not going to lie, I have my suspicions that Twitter is going to silence a lot of accounts that basically try and give their opinion on election day. But yeah. So do you think the UK has a good future? Or do you think we're going into dark times?
We're heading to a very, very dark time that's disguised as a rise of a renaissance. And your hamburger comes with a dose of misogyny. Does that make sense? Or is this a lot of waffle?
They believe that misogyny is evil. They tell men to hate themselves, hate masculinity. They're telling kids to hate masculinity. And masculinity is the only thing, and despise traditional values. They want us weak. They want us manipulated. They want us believing that men can have babies. They want us to deny our own human biology. They're also trying to make it illegal, I think, in Scotland. So basically, if you criticise your kid being transgender, you basically get thrown in prison and your kid taken away from you. They're basically saying your kid can't be a boy when she's really a girl. They really want us to they really want to take our kids away from us, especially when they want yet they want more rights. They tried to kill us with a fucking vaccine, yet they want us to fight in their foreign wars. Oh, fuck yourself. Fuck you, the United States. Okay. Fuck you. What else, sir?
They say meat is racist.
What?
They say meat is racist. I don't get that.
Meat racist.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how does the two have any correlation with each other? They're making up anything these days.
Amy, they're teaching black kids to hate us. Their end plan is for us to be murdered by them. Even though we have no ill will towards them, we want them to succeed. They hate us, right? Maybe it's just me, but I have a different interpretation of the British Empire, right? I don't think we actually hurt people, right? I actually think we built them up. They say, oh, we're terrible, terrible people. But if it wasn't for us, Americans would still be be a bunch of Indian tribes. We made you civilized. We built your country. And you have the nerve to call us racist. We built your country. We were the first people to fucking let you free, you son of a bitch. We gave you your freedom. They still not respect us. We paid so much money, right? We only just paid off that loan for all the British government. The British government years ago, right, took out a loan. The British Empire took out a loan, right, to free all its slaves, right? And we still get no respect for that. We're labeled the bad guys, we're labeled racists. Even before we built your fucking kingdom, we built the countries. When you guys wanted independence, we let you have your independence because we were nice. What did we get for it? Fucking slap in the face. We got slapped in the face by the Australians, some of our closest, we thought were some of their best colonies. We got slapped in the face by Canada. Colony that we basically gave. Yeah, they hate us. Again, they're teaching black kids to hate us. Teaching young kids to hate their heritage, young kids to hate us. And basically, they're basically creating black hate, white hatred. Because I think the end goal is they want us all dead. They're going to either murder us through some type of fucking drug. They're going to murder us through some type of drug. They're going to force all white people to fight in wars and then murder us that way. Or literally, they're just going to come up to all our houses and they'll just pull a gun on us and murder us in our sleep. That's one of the options. I wish none of it would happen, but I can guarantee on a long enough time scale, the way things are going, it looks like one of those scenarios are going to play out. I personally would like I think the one in the sleep would probably be the most preferable one, sadly.
Yeah.
It's the truth. I don't get why we're the bad guys. We built your countries, we gave you... When you wanted your freedom, we gave you your freedom. Who knows? So what else is there?
Let's see.
Should we take... I don't get why they want to go to war with Russia. Russia doesn't want war with you guys, with NATO. Russia just wants you to fucking keep a buffer zone and just fucking leave them alone. Leave them alone, and you'll leave them alone.
Yeah.
But no, NATO's that fucking up for a fucking hot potato war with Russia. Maybe they fear him. Maybe they're... You want to know the real reason why I think they want to go to war, right?
Yeah.
They feel threatened by Russia, and the Rothschild banking clans feel threatened by Asia and the East, right? In Iran, right? In all these countries, right? They feel like their satellite empires and their massive empires are going to be... The massive banking empires they feel threatened by that, right? You want to know the real reason why they murdered... You know why they killed Gaddafi, right? And murdered and made Libya a fucking shithole, right?
Yeah.
They made Libya a shithole because they were scared of Gaddafi. Gaddafi wanted to unite all of Africa under one currency backed by their oil and get gold reserves. The Rothschilds did mathematical calculations and realized all of Europe would be fucked. The British would be fucked. The British pound would go to zero. The American dollar would go to zero. The Japanese yuan would go to zero, and the British and the Chinese yuan and the Russian ruble would probably go to zero. They all felt threatened, especially America, Britain, and China felt threatened. Same with France probably as well. In the Europe, they all felt threatened. So they decided they didn't want to. In Libya, the thing is, Libya was in one of the only countries that had no debt.